Okay, this is our first video, Lesson 1-1, the four-step problem-solving process. And I went ahead and gave you this graphic organizer for this lesson, but there will be times that I do not give you a graphic organizer, and you'll be expected to copy down the notes exactly the way I do in the video. So if I didn't give you this graphic organizer, you would actually copy all of this down on a piece of notebook paper very neatly with the lesson number, the title, and then the notes. So this is a box that we use to solve word problems. Not just word problems, any kind of math problem, but this is the 4 steps that we use when we're solving a problem. So the first thing that we want to do is understand. What do I know? What does the problem say? What information can I get out of it? What do I need to know? That's what question I need to answer. Are there any conditions or limitations? For example, it may say convert your answer to miles, or it may say you must have an ending result that's less than 50 or something like that. So that's an example of a limitation, and we'll talk more about that as the year goes on. Is there any extra information that you can get rid of? Is there any names that you can't pronounce? Is there just extra information that doesn't pertain to the problem? We can always get rid of that. The second step is the planning. What strategy will I use? Can I look back in my notes and find a strategy? So it's really important to understand that we're trying to figure out a strategy to use to help us answer that problem. Also, you might want to estimate your answer during this planning phase, because that will help you in the last part. Does your answer make sense? So is my answer going to be a big number? Is it going to be a small number? Is it going to be a fraction? Is it going to be a number that's less than what I started with or more than what I started with? So that's a really important step in the planning process, is to estimate your answer and to think about that. You could also say, am I going to use several steps? Sometimes a problem will require more than one answer to get your final answer, so you want to think about that. After we plan, we're going to solve. So when you solve a problem, you need to show your work. You need to write it out so that you can make sure that you're not making any kind of mental errors or anything like that. Then you're going to recheck the math for mental errors, make sure that you don't do something silly that would cause you to have a wrong answer. And then the last step in the process, you're going to check. Does my answer make sense? Is it close to what I estimated? Also, did I answer the question that it asked? What do I need to know? So you have to double check and make sure that you answered really whatever the question is asking you to. So these are the 4 steps, and if you wanted to number them, you could. This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3, solving, and then finally checking your answer. If you'd like to see an example of how we use the 4-step problem-solving process in an example problem, watch the next video.